This is the Town of Harwich Board of Health, Thursday, May 18th, 2023, 6:30 PM, Harwich Town Hall, Don B. Griffin Room, opening the session. Any public comment? Do we have anybody online? Okay, I'm going to assume no public comment. The minutes we're going to have to postpone because we don't have enough to vote on them because some of the people weren't here for them. So we only have 2 people to vote on it, so we'll have to put that off till next month.
Right.
Okay. Okay, so that leaves you for the COVID update.
Okay, so on March 15th, 2023, the Healy-Driscoll administration announced that the state's COVID-19 public health emergency ended on May 11th, 2023, to align with the end of the federal public health emergency. The governor also announced that on May 11th, she will rescind the executive order 959 that requires all executive branch state employees to have received their primary series of COVID-19 vaccines. Governor Healy's legislation will continue flexibilities currently in place regarding staff for out-of-hospital dialysis centers. This would apply for 6 months to allow dialysis centers time to return to pre-COVID staffing levels, authorize certain non-medication administration programs, certified staff to administer certain prepackaged medication in community settings. This would apply for 6 months to enable DPH to finalize reforms that streamline the medical administration program. Training requirements allow staffing for advanced life support level ambulance transports with a single EMT provider and a first responder driver rather than 2 certified EMTs. This would be a permanent change based on the positive experience of the staffing model over the last 3 years. The ending of the public health emergency will also bring an end to our COVID-19 updates. We will continue to monitor the status of COVID-19 and all other communicable diseases. We will update the public should there be a concern in the health trend data, and we will provide any necessary updates through the health director's monthly report.
Okay,
Any questions or comments? All right.
okay. Under 5, unfinished business. Reconsideration of previously approved variance conditions from Title V, 310 CMR 15.211 in the Town of Harwich Regulations 1.210, 18 Bob White Lane.
So we received an email correspondence to ask for the withdrawal of this application. So you would just be voting to remove it from the agenda.
So you want to make that motion?
I motion to remove from the agenda the site summary for 18 Bob White Road.
Okay, we have to say close and remove.
Close and remove.
Close and remove.
I motion to close the discussion on 18 Bob White Road and remove it from the meeting agenda.
Okay. Vote?
Aye.
Second?
Second?
Second, aye.
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 All right, that one's done.
Number B, variance request Town of Harwich Regulation 1.211, 230 Church Street, to consider variance request of the Town of Harwich Regulation 1.211.
This also has withdrawn, so you'll
I-
vote to close and remove.
Go ahead.
I motion to close the discussion on 230 Church Street and remove it from tonight's agenda.
You second?
Second?
Vote?
Aye?
Aye. All right.
C, variance request from Title V, .310 CMR 15.224 and 15.203, 2 Bay Pine Road, to consider variance request Title V, .310 CMR 15.00
Okay.
and
Is there any-
310 CMR 15.
Is anybody here for that? You want to come up?
Sure. Can I give you some information as well?
Yeah,
Sure.
James, did you sign in as well on the sheet? Okay, you can do that after. Yep,
Most of the receipts I did
Okay.
last time.
just water usage.
Well, there was also that change that I mentioned.
Okay, the door.
Good evening.
Good evening. Okay, is there anything you want to provide other than this, or?
Sure, just the water usage history, and then when I originally applied for this permit, the special permit 3 years ago, I included a door into the door between the ADU and residence, the principal residence, in case usage changed at some point. And for some reason, I don't know why I took it out when I submitted the last building permit, or the current building permit, but in recent months since I submitted that building permit, I looked at this and I reconsidered that somebody may be coming to live in my house at some point who I'd want to be able to have egress back and forth between. I discussed it with my builder, and the door is already framed. I could finish it as it is, but I would like to be able to have the opportunity to open up the house at some point without having to come again for approval, if that's possible.
So is this different than the one we looked at last month?
The only thing that's different is the addition of the door between, the 32-inch door between the ADU and the principal residence.
Which doesn't
That should-
provide a significant
It
change.
shouldn't.
If it's accessible, it's not really a true two-family dwelling if there's access between two. You
Yeah.
could argue that. But if they decide to close it off on both sides, then it becomes the true ADU.
Okay,
And that's the way certainly initially, that's the way it would do it. But rather than have to come again for approval, if, my mom moved in and we needed to have egress in between, rather than have an approval process, I would like to be able to have it in place that I could just open up the door.
okay. Any, you guys have any questions?
Not about the door, no.
No? You?
I would say that if it's possible, considering I talked to my engineer, septic engineer, if any changes are done to the system, I guess I was just sort of thinking about timing. If any changes need to be done, there's going to be some engineering time involved, there's a wait time involved, and I still have to line up contractors in order to finish building the apartment. It's conceivable, it's not out of the realm of possibility that it could be 9 months before this would be be able to be occupied.
And I think this one on the Bay Pine Road is one that is in Phase 3.
Yes.
Right.
You wanted to wait to make a decision until town meeting to figure out if the town was going to support and
You're
approve
right,
the
and they
funding
did.
for it, and they did.
And they did,
So he's going to be hooking up to sewer 3 years,
yeah. So
hopefully.
my thought on that is to continue with the leaching fields and then not bother with the two compartments, since everything is working and it's okay. My thought would be as is.
So your vote would be to approve the use of the existing system as is, and
Yeah.
then you could set conditions, because if the system fails, you don't want to
Yeah,
Right.
ignore that
yeah.
aspect
So it would
either.
have to be if the condition fails before you're required to hook up to the sewer.
Yeah.
Then something would have to be done.
Absolutely, yeah.
Any thoughts?
Not,
All right.
as we discussed
Yeah.
last month,
Yeah.
we were gonna
Yeah.
make the allowance if it was gonna go through.
Sure.
I still go along with that, so we would word it,
Look at option
approve it as
2.
it is, but with the fact that if the septic fails in the meantime,
Yes.
this
Yeah.
discussion gets revisited, so.
So you want to include that in the option 2?
I would motion to approve the variance conditions as requested for 2 Bay Pine Road with no changes required to the septic, and the condition that the dwelling be connected to sewer immediately once available. In addition, We would like to state that if at any time before hooked up to the sewer, the septic fails, then this will need to be revisited with the dual tank.
Certainly. Thank you.
Okay, second?
Second.
Vote.
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, and good luck.
Thank you.
Okay,
Six.
on
New
to
business?
7A.
Okay, 7A, okay. 6A,
6A.
I mean, 6A.
yeah.
I'm looking
Variance
at six.
request from Title V-310 CMR-14 Atlantic Street to consider variance request Title 5310 CMR 15.00 to allow 310 CMR to allow septic tank to be 5 feet from the foundation where 10 is required. 310 CMR 15.211 to allow septic tank to be 5 feet from north property line where 10 feet is required. 310 CMR 15.211 to allow septic tank to be 5 feet from west property line where 10 feet is required.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Matt Farrell from GM O'Reilly and Associates, representing John Baroni and Karen Gagny. With me in the audience is John Wishart from Coastline Design. He's the builder designer. So yeah, the property's located at 14 Atlantic Street on the corner of Pine Avenue. The front portion of the property is within the 100-foot buffer zone to a coastal bank on Nantucket Sound. The lot is currently served by an existing 3-bedroom dwelling, an existing Title V that was installed in 1996 and altered in 2003. That's when those variances were originally granted. The existing system includes a 1,500-gallon septic tank, a 22 by 14 by 2 leaching galley. So the proposal is to remove the existing 3-bedroom dwelling, leave the existing foundation, and build a new 3-bedroom dwelling in its place. This will include a small addition on the first floor, kind of square off the building, approximately 57 square feet. The addition will be built on sonotubes, no foundation, and won't increase any variances. And expansion of the second floor. The bedrooms will remain at 3. The proposal, we're adding approximately 605 square feet to the first and second floor of habitable space. So the new septic system shall be renovated, including a new septic tank with IA treatment, including a microfast 0.5 and a new distribution box, and then connection to the existing leaching facility. So, as already stated, we're seeking 3 variances. One, for the septic tank to the building. We're holding 5 feet, asking for a 5-foot variance. The second one is the septic tank is not 10 feet from the north property line. We're holding 5 feet, asking for a 5-foot variance. And then the third one is the septic tank is not 10 feet from the west property line. We're holding 4 feet, asking for a 6-foot variance. That last variance increased just because the size of the tank increased from the last tank that was in there to what's there now to fit the fast in it. So these variances, as stated, were approved in 1996 and then altered in 2003. I guess originally there was a fast system here, and the owners went back in 2003 and said they were only here for like 40 days a year, and the thing was costing them $40 a month to run it. So the Board of Health allowed them to take it out. So now we're putting it back in. Hopefully.
Wow.
We've also submitted nitrogen loading calculations. We did a existing nitrogen loading for the existing 3 bedrooms, approximately 23.4 parts per million of nitrates. And then the proposed with the IA is approximately 12.9 parts per million. It's approximately 44% reduction in the nitrogen with the current proposal. So the project has gone through conservation. It's gone through zoning board, and this is our last stop.
So they are aware that they have to have a maintenance contract. They're aware of that.
I assume they are, but they, yes.
Yeah,
They-
we reviewed that with our clients.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
I was not I'm actually just filling in for John O'Reilly because he was busy somewhere else. So I haven't had much contact. I did meet them today on the phone.
All right. All right, I'm happy with option 2.
Yeah, and anybody else on the board have anything to say about it? I'm ready to approve it.
All right.
Is
I
there
move to approve the
Any
variance
input
request.
from anybody else in the, just because we don't
Oh.
have anything, are you guys here for a certain item on the agenda? We're just in favor of this. Okay, all right, just wanted to make sure that
Okay.
All right, then.
I didn't miss something on the agenda that was supposed to be there.
I move to approve the variance request for 14 Atlantic Street with the following conditions. 1, the dwelling is restricted to a maximum of 3 bedrooms. 2, no further increase in habitable space or square footage without further review by the Board of Health. 3, no garbage disposal is allowed. 4, IA technology is required. 5, a signed operation and maintenance agreement for the alternative system shall be submitted to the Health Department prior to the release of the disposal system construction permit. The O&M agreement for the alternative system shall include a requirement for testing. This testing shall be conducted in accordance with the Board of Health protocol. And 6, the conditions and approval shall be recorded at the Barnstable Registry of Deeds.
Second.
Vote.
Aye.
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 Thank you very much.
Welcome.
That
You
was
guys
too
have a
easy?
good night.
You too, Matt.
No.
Okay. Oh,
Have,
let me see, where are we?
Board
Where-
of Health summary?
Beaches.
Wow.
Board of the, okay. Beaches, okay. That's right.
6B.
6B.
6B, approved Tier 3 beach sampling variance application to send to the state. Brooks Road Beach, Neal Road Beach, and Wawatasi Road Beach.
All right, and so if everybody have looked these,
Yeah,
they're all kind of in line.
I think those go monthly, it's like.
And I think if you have a, you know, if everything is okay for a certain amount of time, then you can,
Right,
Yeah,
Yeah.
the state will automatically retract the variance if there's an exceedance too many times. So this is just an application for us to send up to the state to get the state's approval for the variance for reduction in testing at these sites.
nothing has come up in the last 3 years.
Nope, nothing that would change their ability to approve it, but they're gonna be the ones that decide
Okay,
whether it's approved or not at the end of the day.
okay,
You're just approving the application to be sent.
correct.
all right. Motion.
I motion to approve the application for extension of sampling variance for Massachusetts Tier 3 beaches.
The 3 beaches.
3 beaches. Do we have to say them? You want to?
Yep,
For all,
All 3 beaches.
All 3, Brooks Road, Neal Road, and Wawatasi Road.
right.
Okay. All right. Second?
Second.
Vote?
Aye?
Aye.
Aye.
This is the shortest meeting I think I've
So
ever
far.
been to.
Okay. Report of the Health Director.
So, in lieu of the health director, Senior Health Agent Carrie Scherner will conduct her report. We do, following the Bathing Beach variance application, we'll be starting sampling. Preseason sampling will begin Tuesday, May 23rd. County beach samplers will be in training May 30th through June 2nd. Health Department staff will collect the first 2 samples of the season. The county beach samplers will take over the week of June 5th, and will be sampling both public and semi-public beaches through September 1st. I'm preparing to take the Certified Health Officer's exam on May 22nd, 2023. The health officer's credential is just a demonstration of knowledge in the field and something I hope to be able to successfully obtain.
What are the groins? In the second page here, it says The groins immediately to the west of Neal Beach were recently rebuilt. What are groins?
That I cannot answer. I didn't ask the question to the conservation agent who supplied me with that information. I went on her knowledge that it was something that impacts the water flow either significantly or not. Yeah,
Unless they were rocks, or I'm not sure what they are.
I know. I don't know if it's mounds in the sand under the water or something that restricts flow of water in that area. I will find out and email you the answer to that, because now I'm curious. I didn't think to ask the question.
Okay.
Okay.
So
Number
we are
8
number
is
8,
correspondence.
correspondence. Permits?
No, we don't have any correspondence, permits. The only modification I'm going to ask that the board made to the list that's provided is Mr. Gregory Jones, utility installer. His application is still incomplete. So I would,
Where is that in the,
that is on the first page of the
First page.
permitting,
okay, all right,
almost all the way down to the far left.
okay.
So we have 2 utility installers, one's a renewal, one's a new application.
Okay.
And where his new application is incomplete, I would just ask that we postpone that for a complete application.
Fine, good.
Do I have a motion?
I motion to accept the permits as listed in front of us, except for Gregory Jones, which shall be postponed until next month when this application is complete. Aye?
Aye?
Okay.
I think we got an aye.
You got an aye?
I'm sorry.
I didn't get an aye from you. Okay,
Sorry about that.
okay.
All right.
Do I have a motion to close the meeting?
Motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
There you go.
You second?
Second.
Seconded?
Vote?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, you can go back to work, Kevin, you got,
Wow, I have never had one like this. I've never been to one like
That
this.
is